Thank you so much for showing how powerful the internet can be. You know, it really changed the world when people do something and take action. My name is Bitten Schei, and I will tell you a little bit of my personal journey. And I have a company called Mother Courage. You can change the world if you have the courage to follow your dreams. Celebrating the future is more than an event. It's also a personal journey. In January, I got a request from Berte if I would, if Notodden, where I live in Norway, would have Bruce Wilson to come and have an event. Sure, I said. Because I knew that I had to go out of my comfort zone in order to learn more about new digital communication. So it was with apprehension. I said yes, without really knowing where the journey would take me. You know, you need to do that. You need to have the courage to get out of your comfort zone. So, but we landed here in Oslo tonight, and I will thank Berte and Bruce for taking the journey together with me, with Ingrid, Jonas, Jessica, Nadia, Truls, and me, and all of you that are involved today. Because there are many backstage that really are making this mark of this journey. So, why empowering youth? Ingrid had told something about her really that she feels that something is happening, and it's very seriously, especially out in Europe, but also all over the world. So this is a way of call to action, because unemployment and poverty are increasing, and the system of welfare are showing their weaknesses. What happens to a society where the young generation sees the older solve their economic and social problems at young people's expenses? There is a risk that the financial crisis turns into a crisis between the generations. And Europe suffers from a systemic crisis. So, I'm in it because my father, he went to the concentration camps during the Second World War, and all his family. And they really suffered a lot. And they really got their life destroyed afterwards. So as a young girl, I feel I grew up in the shadow of a war. And that has affected me a lot. So, but I live in a little tiny city, but in Notodden, but it has a great industrial history. And this year, it's celebrating its 100 years of anniversary. And the prosperity we experience in Norway today is thanks to this industrial adventure and community building happening in Notodden over the last 100 years. And the founder were Ole Holter and Sam Eide, who I'm a great fan of, who led the city into growth and prosperity and out of poverty, because for 100 years ago Notodden and Norway was full of poverty and migration. And he used the waterfalls, manpower, and technology also that for 100 years ago. And it changed Norway, and also the rest of the world. Because these two innovators of society are example of what impact the perseverance of seeing an idea through to successful outcome can have. I believe they deserve a tribute for their entrepreneurship against poverty. And for me, that is a great inspiration to work with young people, because the young people is the future, also in Notodden. And this inspiring story with Sameide, and this is Christian Birkeland, who they invented fertilizer out of the waterfalls, and with this very special technology. And the youth today, we use them, we try to get inspired from this story, and we want to get out of on the digital media to tell the story. We want to convey this sparkling story with young talents in music, arts, football, taekwondo, motorsport, film, animation, and with modern media into the future and into the world. We want to work with other projects in the world. The event tonight is a test on how we can develop digital communication in order to become global. We have just had a blues festival at Notodden where people are coming to us. And I and some guys started that for 26 years ago. And it has become very big and very famous. But now we also need to go out in the world. And we then need to use a new technology. But, you know, wow, this is weird. I want to talk about a little of my commitments and my values, because I'm not the youngest in this room, and I think that, but we all need to have a commitment. I could retire and tell myself that, oh no, I can be together with my granddaughter and drink coffee with my neighbors and do some shopping, but no, I think that I have the commitment. I need to be a change maker and do something. We need to take a new step, which must come from the deepest of our hearts. The new activism is a combination of spirit and action, because we are challenged as a generation now to take a great leap forward and step out of our comfort zones, stand with conviction and take action that is necessary to transform the world, embracing the possibility of the highest, most creative vision for ourselves and the planet. Because it is with action and not words that we make our dreams reality. It's an alternative to a fear-driven energies that are dominating the world today. For the last 8 years, I have been working in a program called Small is Great in Uganda. It's a network between Norway and Uganda, and its major objective is to empower grassroots women in economical development and decision-making. It's a network which purpose is to fight rural poverty in Uganda by working to help women create their own small-scale business. So we have managed to include 32 women groups with 4,500 women that has been involved. And we have funded it with many helpers from Norway, and with providing the women with cows, pigs, chickens, sewing machines, seeds, microcredit bank, and training them in a lot of skills. And in the middle of August, they will roll out a workshop with 100 women on the topic management and sustainable of small income generating project. And I'm happy tonight, especially because our partner, Esther Nalule, now, she is our Ugandan partner. She is sitting in her rural village in Katade, and look at this event, because she is able. We are giving her given her a computer, and I would like to say, hello, Esther, we love you. And that's really when you feel that we are global. So I'm a grassroots worker, and I see that I'm very impressed by the women, because they are not victims. They really are tough women and survivors and very resilient. So I've learned a lot. Me coming from this part of the world, I really have their stories has affected me enormously, because I have been a very traumatic in my childhood, but they have healed me by they have been my mirror, so I can see that I'm very grateful, and to see that I'm living in this country, looking at these women. They are in a quite different situation. So I have the deepest respect and great thanks to them. And now I want to work with the youth empowerment. when I work with this, I also work with the social entrepreneurship in Norway, because in 2009 I knew that I finally found that, oh, this is something for me, because I never fit in the box. I never fit in the box. And then we started a network 5 years ago called Network for Social Entrepreneurship in Norway. And we went on Facebook. I never was on a Facebook before, and because we had no money. And then we have slowly we have put the topic on the agenda. We had lots of conference in the parliament. We have had written a book about Norwegian entrepreneurships, social entrepreneurs, and we also have made a plan of action. Well, a lot of things during these years, and today the Norwegian Parliament, of 7 political parties, 6 of them has put social entrepreneurship on their agenda, on their plan of action. So we are going to sit on the back when there is election in September. So we did it. Last. Yes, I want to fear makes us disconnected. It's just love that can heal the world. And the older I get, the more I believe that this is important to tell about, not only doing all these activities. And there is an African word called Ubuntu, which can explain as kindness, compassion, and willingness to forgive wrongs. I am because we all are. Celebrating the future is more than an event. It's Ubuntu. It's a kickoff for an open and collaborative project based on values such as openness, sharing, and inspiration. Always dedicated and with the desire to help each other, which is the only opportunity we have to address the challenges facing the world. So this is a little spark from Notodden in the project that I work with locally. Happy birthday, Notodden. Thank you.